Should young horses always be avoided by novice riders?
I wouldn't say always, but most people do get into a lot of problems with young horses. If you've got the coach or the trainer to back you up, or someone, a friend who's going to help you, I wouldn't say don't buy one, but you know, they're hard work, and you've got to get them until the horse turns 6-year-old. I just don't think they're a whole lot of fun myself. Everyone can debate that issue, but for me, until they turn 6, and what I do with my young horses is I try to, you know, stay with the young horse scheme. So 3- and 4-year-olds, they're doing the prelim novice work. The 5-year-olds are doing the elementary. The 6-year-olds, they should kick out at the end of the young horse system and be doing the medium work. It doesn't have to be getting a 70% in a medium test, but getting a flying change, maybe not always on the aids, having a little bit of a go at the half-pass work, because that's where the fun starts to kick in. So, should you not get a young horse? I just see so many problems with so many people calling me up saying, I've got this horse, it's bucking, it's bolting, it's rearing, will you take it? And I'm like, that sounds like fun. Bring it to me, he's not going to dump me. So unless, you know, sometimes I think if you've got another horse to ride, and bringing along your young horse can be a really worthwhile experience, because it does feel good to know that you've trained that from the breakers, or you've brought it as a foal and you've brought it along and it's been with you that whole time. But for young riders, I usually 99.9999% of the time, I say don't buy a young horse, because most young riders don't have A, the patience, B, the time, because they've got so much on with school, and I'm a firm believer in go and get a good education, so the parents don't have to continue looking after you and your horse when you leave school. So to work 2 horses for young riders, I don't think, you know, works. So to get the young horses, yes, it's a lot of fun, but you do, as long as you've got someone there to help you, really. If you're going to do it on your own, or unless you've got an endless, you know, hemorrhaging money, which is not my problem, fortunately. You know, it's realistic. You really need to think about it. Just about everyone has the same problem with the young horses. At some point, no matter how good the temperament, there's sticky situations you need to get through, and you need to deal with that situation right there and then correctly, or forget about it. You're in, the horse starts to go, right. It's that spot on the arena. Does it something small, then it starts to turn into a jib, then it starts to run you down the shed. Then it dumps you and runs you down the shed as you're hanging on for dear life. So, you know, yeah, have a serious think about the young horses. The most important thing for me when someone comes to me is matching the horse and rider. Forget about how big the horse moves. Forget about if it has to be gelding, it has to be mare. Okay, that's important. The colour, you know, does it really matter? It doesn't matter. The horse has to have something. When you look at it, it's got to, when it's hanging its head over your stable door at home or your paddock gate at home, there's got to be something that horse has in its presence that says to you, yes, I will love you every day. It doesn't have to be really beautiful, but it has to be beautiful to you. So it's got to be something you're going to love for a while, because we don't tend to keep them for a few weeks or a few months. So it's got to have something attractive to you. It's got to be something you love about it. And you usually know, when you go and look at a horse, I know myself, I go and look at my FEI horse at the moment. When I bought him as a 2-year-old colt, and probably had him gelded. And I looked at lots of horses driving around, never going to find this horse, where am I going to find it, blah, blah, blah. And I went in, had a look at a whole lot of other horses at this property, and they brought this horse out, and I went, that's the horse I'm going to buy. And I just knew, you usually just know. But again, even though I sort of said stay away from young horses, he's a 2-year-old, and I just knew, but I had to play the waiting game. It took, you know, until the horse was 6, it wasn't all that much fun. He was actually terrible, horrible. If anyone remembers him from the 4- and 5-year-old classes of trying to kill me at Toowoomba, and you know, it's been a long, hard journey. But he's great now. He's fantastic. I feel like I'm in my Lamborghini. But you know, a lot of, I don't tend to cry so much, but brought me pretty close to it a few times. So yeah, so just finding that right hook, pull down the height, pull in the movement a little bit more, keep it nice and tidy, and then ride the best dressage you possibly can. So I hope that.
Do you find that reading societies to have papers is a thing as well?
Yeah, I think for professional riders, yes, it depends. What do you want a horse? it is important for getting that, going back to the first slide, that the fantastic temperament is very important if you're looking at bloodlines, I think, more so than movement and all that sort of thing, to get a horse with a really good brain that you can work with. Yes, if you're looking at, I'm not going to name any bloodlines to upset anyone, but if you're looking at a horse and it's got, you know, a certain bloodline, you ask your coach and your coach says, no way, hot, crazy, yeah, stay away from that. But unless you're going to do a lot of the breed shows and all of that sort of thing, in dressage, I think at the States we have a few special awards, but as far as any of the other competitions, I can't remember, Cheryl, I don't think we have any other particular. Down at Nationals we have some breed awards, but
at Queensland State we have High Point Hanoverians and things
the
like
Holsteiners
and the Holsteiner Trophy. But the bottom line is a nice horse is a nice horse, whether it's a warm blood, whether it's a Clydie, whether it's a pony. A nice horse is a nice horse, and you can do dressage on a nice horse.
Yeah, you don't have to. The breeders will argue with me, but the only reason I would look at the bloodlines for an amateur rider who's just looking for a really nice horse to ride and they want to just, next year I want to be riding medium, is get something with fantastic temperament and have a look at the bloodlines. If it's something in there with warning bells, we'll stay away from it. But don't buy the horse because it's related to Tealers or Salinero or, you know, it's just, because it will, if it is, it's going to cost a fortune to begin with. And it may not look like Tortillas or Salinero or any of the fabulous ones around the world at the moment. So yes, the papers are important to a degree, but you know, most dressage riders don't go into the show ring. And I suppose I just, you know, if you've got a great horse in front of you that you've never heard of the sire or the dame line, and it's built uphill, it's got straight legs, it's pretty squeaky clean on the vet check, you'd be crazy not to buy it, especially if it's black and white markings. so yeah, I mean, I must say when I'm looking for horses these days, I mean, I look for the bloodlines and papers, but you know, what I'm looking for and a lot of professional riders looking for is different to the general public. And a lot of people just want to ride a good medium test or a good advanced test. So, you know, you don't have to have the best moving black and white thing around the place. So, any other questions? Anything? Nothing?
No, well, I think we might wrap that up, and thank you very much, Tracie, for sharing your knowledge.